Again, Ford F-150 stock tires survived not just winter, but extreme cold. It was minus 27 Celsius degrees this morning. I'll convert that to Fahrenheit in just a moment. It's a little warmer now, but still extremely cold. So we've got extreme cold. Can the tires that the Ford F-150 Tremor come on? General grabber, can the general grabbers actually survive in extreme cold? Yes, they can be used as a snow tire, but can they be used as an extreme cold tire? So that's what we've got right there. And well, I'm cheap, so I didn't want to put on winter specific tires. And we've done this other winters, but it is particularly cold. So stay tuned to find out how it drives in the snow, including snow. I'm not sure if you can hear this, but it is crunchy underneath the feet. That happens when it gets really, really cold. You get a high crunch sound out of the vehicle. And just in case you're wondering, that's the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, and Ford's done a great job having this sound rather quite nice. Still waiting on the repair there, so let's jump in the vehicle and kind of put the pedal to the metal and dive deep into answering this question within about 10 minutes or less. So let's take it for a drive. All right, so we're in the vehicle, all here, and one thing Marie noticed right away, which is different from some of the other vehicles that we've had. You want to tell them about that, Marie?
Yes, we warm up the car before quitting the house, and it was maybe 5 minutes, not more than that, and it's already really hot in the cabin. The seats, the heated seats are hot. Yeah, and way before, I remember my first car when you started it, because it didn't run, it didn't move on the street. It wasn't eating that much when you started before you quit your home.
Yeah, before we leave the home. We're not about hitting it or quitting it when it comes to the house. We don't hit our house, but when we leave the house, let's just look at the conditions we're in right now. So these are the conditions. We're in too high, giving it gas, and the stability control system, yes, the tires are slipping, they are spinning a little, but the stability control is doing a great job of keeping the truck under control. So the tires on their own, without a traction control, a sophisticated traction control system, probably would have a bit of issue. And that was in too high, meaning only power to the rear wheels. The reason we did that is because now I'm on salted, dry asphalt. So we don't want to be in 4H at these low town speeds, because if we do a complete stop and then a sharp right-hand turn, for example, well, the back is going to kind of sound like it's kind of grinding. Yeah, it's not great for the rear diff. So you need to be in 2H for dry pavement, or 4H once we're on the highway, or not at a complete standstill. Basically parking lot speeds, parking lot driving, so about 5 miles per hour or less, you do not want to be in 4H. And back to Marie's point, yeah, her first car, what was that, like a Pontiac Vibe 2000?
Pontiac Wave, yeah, 2008. And even if you let it run for 10 minutes, if it don't move, you won't have that much heat.
And on that note, to actually warm up your transmission, the vehicle needs to move. Those gears need to be moving around to warm up the transmission. So don't wait around all day for your transmission to warm up. But what's really nice, I agree with you, the Ford F-150 heats up really quickly. So we've got a 2025 Ford F-150 Tremor. And whether you have the Tremor or you have, let's say, an STX, it's going to heat up just as quickly. The difference is that it requires a Lariat if you want to have the 4A. So back to that little problem, well, not much of a problem. You just need to know when you're driving around at low speeds, parking lot speeds, you don't really want to be in 2H, because the rear is going to sound kind of like it's forcing, and it is kind of forcing, and under certain circumstances, the back can actually hop a little. So you want to avoid that. Keep it in 2H at parking lot speeds, unless the asphalt has, snow or mud on it. If you're on grass mud, then that's fine. So right now, we woke up this morning minus 27 degrees Celsius, and we've driven in conditions like that before. Coming back at night, we've even driven in as cold as minus 40. I take this vehicle to work. We haven't had that yet this winter, but for the 2024 Tremor, the same tires. It was relatively good at handling I'd say it was very good, extremely good at handling deep snow, sticky snow, and slush. Great, because you got all that extra tread. So the tread on these tires is more around 14, 15, 32s, if I recall correctly. I'll put that right in the little, at the bottom of the screen. I'll put it out what the full tread is new. It's right around 15, 32s, whereas a typical winter tire that you'll buy is going to be more around 10, 11, 32s. Some Mustang specific tires, more sporty tires, will often come with 9 or 10 32s. So you're getting a lot of tire. The tire length, or the longevity of these tires, is fantastic. We even bought for our 2011 EcoBoost, blue EcoBoost, we had gone out and found some used tires, and apparently they had something like 50,000 or 55,000 kilometers already used on them, and we used them for about another 15,000 kilometers. And when we sold the truck, the tires were still in a sellable condition. The buyers didn't complain that the tires were finished. They found that the tires had enough life on them to not complain and negotiate on price on them. So the General Grabbers, whether it's BF Goodrich KO2s or General Grabber, both tires we found to be good in the snow. Marie's had a little bit of trouble on ice before, on icy days, but obviously
only on corners.
Yeah, on corners.
So it's normal.
And in, I think, the blue truck in town, with the BF Goodrich KO2s, you're stuck on a hill, but it was just because you're in 2H. You just needed to hit the 4H. And this is why we had this long, I talked about it for a couple minutes earlier about the 2H, 4H, and that a Lariat, King Ranch, or Platinum, all those limited, all those trucks come with 4A, which is more like an automated 4x4 system. So it's gonna choose when to send power to the front or not. Now, of course, that means your transfer case in the front gets turned on and off, so it wears out more. So there are advantages. Obviously, that's the easiest system to drive, but this system will last longer because you're not, in 4A like we had on the Bronco, you're a little heavy on the pedal. Oh, the front wheels start to turn. So that transfer case is always activating, deactivating. There's definite more wear and tear on the gear. So this is a more reliable setup. Also, of course, having it that you pick 4H or 4 low with a locking diff is the best setup you can have for off-roading or for driving in a field, if you're hunting or if you're a farmer. So field and forest, mud, snow, 4H or 4 low. This system right here is the best. Even if you have available 4A, we've tested it out in the Bronco. We were in 4A and we had some tire spin. We couldn't get up a hill with some packed snow on it. It was pretty slippery. As soon as we dropped it into 4H, we went up the hill right away. We didn't even have to lock the front or the rear differential. And we experienced that off-roading at the Bronco Off-Rodeo. We were able to get a lot more done in 4H than 4A. They specifically had us test that.
Yeah.
How did you find that experience at Bronco Off-Rodeo?
It was spectacular, I could say, because it's really different than what you do normally. And you learn more skills, you learn more stuff that the car can do, even if you know all the buttons, what they are doing. Just really experiencing it for real, it was special.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the experience. I'm gonna give it a little gas here. So EcoBoost has fantastic pickup and go. Love the acceleration on the EcoBoost. So we've done full reviews on the Ford F-150 Tremor. We've done a full, lengthy, deep dive into the Lariat 501, 502 trim and all those differences, XLT 302s. I find the Tremor is unbelievably underrated. This is a baby F-150 Raptor for tens and tens of thousands of dollars less. Ours here was about $40,000 less than a Raptor that we've got on the lot that is in Shelter Green that I absolutely love. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But the Tremor is an absolute value. It's underrated. People don't give this truck enough praise, and I love the fact that yes, these tires we can run year round. They've taken us through mud, amazing in mud, very good in deep snow. Slush, great, because the treads don't just easily fill up and have your tire spin. So I'd even almost say there's a bit of an advantage over a full out winter tire that would have less tread. So I do like it for that. Definitely less good on ice, but the durability of this tire is much higher than an ice tire. You know, we wouldn't want to be in a situation where we've owned Nokian on the F-150 Lightning. Sorry, we had the Nokians on one of our Broncos, and we had BF Goodrich KO2s on the Lightning. Well, when it comes down to it, a great, amazing ice tire like the Nokian, fantastic for ice, but you don't want to be caught on a hot spring day or travel down south for a winter vacation and be driving on hot pavement with those tires. They will wear out much quicker than these tires. So I think this overall, I hear, and I did this video because I hear so often people say, oh no, I'm not going to use a BF Goodrich KO2, which is now the KO3, or the General Grabber as a winter tire. That's really bad. It's unsafe. You really need a winter specific tire. These are 3 Peak Snowflake rated tires, and they've gotten us. I can't tell anyone what to do, and I can't promise that it definitely won't always be the best tire for winter, but I can say it's gotten us through, it's gotten me through good, safe driving. I'm very happy with it. Marie?
Normally, I'm in the group of person that really wants real winter tire, but this one, I'm totally fine driving the F-150 with it. So, yeah,
great.
It's not scary at all.
I thought I was going to get a little bit of a complaint and maybe get called thrifty or cheap or very frugal.
But I remember I didn't love them that much the first time I tried it on our first Bronco, the blue one,
yeah,
the Badlands. But on the F-150, no problem at all.
And maybe that's because the Bronco, the blue one, I don't remember, but I think it might not have had, maybe it didn't have 4A. It was a straight Badlands, 2021 Badlands, not Sasquatch, nothing really much added to it.
No.
So maybe it was a matter of, maybe you drove through part of when you took it out, you might have been driving in 2H, in 2 high, which means rear wheel only.
Maybe it was a really special day with a bad, it was a bad winter day that day.
Yeah, so.
Probably, the day that I hated it.
No matter what, we can say generally most of the time it'll do just fine as a winter tire. Yeah, and I do recall, I'm thinking now back, I think you took it out on ice day.
Yeah.
So yeah, the weakness of these tires is ice. It does not have the same braking power or acceleration capabilities on ice as it does in every other condition. But otherwise, we've got a great tire. We've got my favorite truck in the lineup in the Ford F-150 Tremor. So I might we might skip over a 2026 because right now we've got an incredible lease price that we have yet to be able to recreate on a 2026. So we'll have to wait to see for that, what promotions come out. The Tremor is just a little bit more expensive as a 2026 model. And we will get a Raptor one day if Ford offers leasing on it or interesting interest rates. Right now, Ford doesn't lease or offer a rate in regards to purchasing, so we end up going with a bank. And right now in Canada, bank rates on a used vehicle are still too high. I can't imagine paying $50,000 or $60,000 in interest on a vehicle.
Just for fun.
Yeah, so that's that, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Do drop a comment if you've made it this far. Drop finisher in the comments section. And any questions, please drop them in the comments. I would love to get any questions from you. I will do my best to answer the best I possibly can. And I do want to mention this last thing, these tires. Tremor suspension, great on the bumps here, but these tires are fine in the bendies, despite having big treads on them. And a lot of people will say, oh, don't get a tire with big treads. They're going to be super noisy. Maddie, do you find these tires noisy?
No, not at all.
Whether I'm listening to a podcast or at driving to work, listening to a podcast, or driving home and just trying to relax with no volume at all in the vehicle, kind of like now, we've got no issues with road noise from the tires, and they're fine through the bendies. So
every winter tire more sound than the summer tires.
That's right, and some winter tires, even though they're a winter specific tire, are noisy.
Anyway, yeah.
The trick, now don't be fooled, so we just took out two don't be fooled sections right there, items of discussion, but also a third one, don't be fooled. In order to have this tire not be noisy, there's a trick. And in order for it to continue to grip decently and do its job, you need to rotate. So I did an oil change, even though often I change in my main family vehicle after 7-8 months, sometimes a year, sometimes a year and a half. But
we're lucky when you wait a year and a half.
Yeah. But I did an oil change just so I can get my tire rotation in. So do rotate the tires, and do remember you've got a full-sized spare underneath. You might also want to rotate that fifth tire into the rotation and gain about 20% less tire wear as you can constantly rotate one off. So that's a little added bonus information for the day. And just a reminder, these Tremors, whether you get a 5-liter, it's going to sound great. EcoBoost sounds great. They both have great acceleration. And the EcoBoost gets great takeoff as soon as you get into the pedal. Love this truck. Love it. Maddie, liking the truck?
Really. I really appreciate the comfort, the space with the kids, and the stroller that we need to put in the back. Everything is really fun with that F-150. We really would love to buy another Bronco, but for now we know that it's the best for the family car.
We're off to the Costco, and then we're going to a friend's house. So with the stuff we need to bring along, the Bronco would fit just the Costco in it, and not the kids stuff.
Afraid of losing space and doing a Tetris all the time we go out.
Yeah, we got ample space. Godspeed and God bless everyone. I hope you get the chance to put the pedal to the metal on a vehicle that you love sometime real soon, whether it's an extremely comfortable truck like this one or not. Let us know what you're driving in the comments section. See you in the next video. I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. This is Marie right beside me, who helps make sure that I give out the good information, not just from a guy's perspective, but from a lady's perspective as well. And even when she's not on the camera, I'm often asking her opinion, as a wise husband will do. So folks, guys out there, don't forget to keep trying to be wise, learn and grow more. And until next time, of course, more cars and more power. Take care, everybody.